What's up, everyone? Welcome to Blue Goose Gizmos, where we enjoy all things gaming as Christians seeking to honor God. In today's video, I don't have it super planned out, but generally speaking, I'm going to be talking about how gaming fits into my life and just some other little random things, just hitting some topics about stuff going on in the gaming world currently, things I'm excited about, and just my thoughts on that. Won't be super long-winded. The main thing today is I want to talk about how gaming fits into my life. This is completely unplanned, unscripted, no outline. Frankly, I'm probably going to have to edit the ever-loving daylights out of this video because it's going to be a bit messy, a bit chaotic. I am not the most articulate when it comes to this. I'm actually, frankly, I'm not trying to be boastful. I feel like I'm actually pretty good at that in general, just in everyday life. But when I'm trying to record a video, suddenly it's not great. It's not great. I struggle. So I'm going to have to probably be doing a lot of editing, and that's okay. Now the reason that I've actually picked the topic that I've picked, how I fit gaming in my life, is also the reason why this is completely unscripted and unplanned, which is that I have very limited time right now, probably the least time of any time in my life so far. We'll see what life brings. When I really started getting serious about content creation and decided I was going to make this a regular thing, my wife was, I think, 8 months pregnant already, very close to full term. And we have since had that baby. She's very healthy. She's wonderful, beautiful, but things are pretty busy. We also have an 18-month-old. So yeah, between two kids and all that, we've also got some construction going on at the house. So you may hear some of that in the background. So I apologize. So that's actually why I picked this topic, is because things are really busy right now. And I thought, you know what? Kind of the perfect time to talk about how I fit a hobby like gaming into my life. First, let me talk about just kind of what my life looks like in general, because maybe that'll help people relate. I think we've all got busy lives. So here's just some of the things, just kind of how my life looks on a daily basis. Currently, my job, I work night shift 3 nights a week. I do 3 12s. I actually live an hour away from my workplace.
Nobody cares.
So we're talking a minimum of 14 hours for 3 days in a row that I am completely busy. 2 hours of driving plus 12 hours at work. And realistically, I have to get to work early, and I don't usually get out of there right on time. So there's a little bit of time in between. Plus, I got to get ready for work, as everybody does. There's that time involved. So those 3 days are pretty jam-packed. I have enough time to come home, sleep, eat, and pretty much get ready and go back to work. And I just try to squeeze in some family time in there while I'm getting ready for work. And then I am married, been married for about 3 years, and we now have 2 kids. Yep, things are pretty busy there. We have 2 very young kids. We have an 18-month-old and then a newborn. So, yep, very, very busy on that front. We currently have some construction going on, which doesn't necessarily make me personally busy, although it does make things just kind of chaotic around the house and a bit stressful, noisy. So we've got that going on. We have 3 dogs. We have 2 big dogs that live outside and 1 small dog. Neither my wife nor I would have intentionally done that. She actually already had 2 dogs when we met. I had 1. And so, yeah, we got married, and here we now have 3 dogs. So we got that going on. We did recently decide to get chickens. So currently we have 6 full-grown chickens that are laying eggs, and then we have 10 chicks they're fully feathered out, and they are outside now. They're still pretty little. So all in all, about 16 chickens. We have raised beds that we do in the back. Now, the gardening is mostly my wife's thing. I help out a little, but mostly I try to remember to, if I can help water them when I'm already out doing stuff, I will. But that's mostly her thing. She planned out, what plants we were going to put where. I actually put the raised beds out there and arranged them, and I filled them with all the dirt and stuff. But she does like all season long. She's the one really kind of minding those. I help where I can, but that's her thing. You got about two-ish, somewhere between 2 and 3 acres that I mow. So, a lot of us have to cut our grass. So I have about that much that I got to mow 1 to 2 times a week. Just general house chores, like everybody, gotta try to keep up with the dishes and the laundry, get the oil in the cars changed. So that is, generally speaking, that's the stuff I've got going on in my everyday life. Everybody has other stuff going on, and so it can be hard to find time for the things that we really love, the things that we're passionate about, the things that we enjoy. So how I usually fit gaming into my life, along with any other hobby that I have, is usually I do it when everybody else is asleep. That honestly is what works best for me. I am a bit of an early riser anyway. I like to get up before the sunrise. So typically what I do is anything that I'm doing just on my own, just me, I'm going to be doing early in the morning before everyone's up. Now, I'm not doing that today, and that's because with a newborn and an 18-month-old and construction going on at the house, things have been a little bit stressful. And frankly, I was going to get up early this morning and do this video. And last night ended up being a pretty rough night for both of our kids. Both of them were up a lot throughout the night. And so we were handling that, and it just didn't work out that I was able to, even if I had been up early to do the video, my son kept getting up and waking up around the same times. And so it didn't work out this morning. So I'm actually doing this while he's down for a nap. And my wife is very, very graciously, lovingly watching our newborn and allowing me to do this. And yes, there are workers outside doing construction. And if that is distracting, I'm deeply sorry. Usually I do things when people are asleep, but I couldn't today. Now, I'm not saying that that's how you have to do it, The important thing is to make sure that you've got your priorities lined out. Generally speaking, whatever your hobby is, it shouldn't be the highest priority in your life. There are usually more important things in life, especially if your hobby is gaming, unless it's your actual career. If you review games or you have a channel that's how you make money, then we're talking something a little different. But for most of us, when gaming is our hobby, it definitely should not be the highest priority in our life. So the important thing is just to remember that and make sure that our chores are getting done and people aren't getting neglected and we're getting our work done. And then however you work it in is great. However you want to do it is awesome. As long as all of those priorities are taken care of, then however it works for you is great for you. For me, it's when people are asleep. We Occasionally, my wife and I'll play a game together. She's not super into gaming, but she does just enjoy spending time with me. And so she will enjoy, we play Super Mario 3D World occasionally. We don't play it a ton, but I do save that one for her and I. I don't play it by myself, though I have wanted to. I've been tempted to just go ahead and crank it out, just to play it, just to see it. But when she agreed to play that with me, I decided I'm just going to save that one for her and I. So I won't see any of the levels before she sees them with me. We go through them together, and maybe after we go through it together, I might play it by myself. And I struggle with co-op gaming. I'm going to be honest. I am usually a solo gamer. I don't play a lot of like online competitive games or team games. And she is very good to even continue playing with me, because I can sometimes get a bit crabby when I'm trying to do one thing and she's doing another, and I think so I'm trying to be better about that. I'm trying to, when we do play, I try to just enjoy it no matter what and not get worried about doing it my way. I can be bad about that. But it's fun to get to play with her. And so sometimes you can do it like that. Sometimes you can do it together. And that can be great. It can be a great way to bond and just spend quality time together. That's pretty much it. I guess I kind of thought maybe there'd be a little more to that topic, but that's pretty much it. Yeah. How do I fit it into my life? Well, I wait till everyone's asleep and then I do whatever I need to.
Inconceivable.
Now, I guess here's another thing. Here's another part of it. Gaming is not my only hobby. It's not my only interest. I'm sure a lot of you feel the same way. I also really enjoy reading. And frankly, like right now, I'm trying to, I'm on another reread of Lord of the Rings. I'm on Return of the King, and I'm trying to crank through Zelda Tears of the Kingdom and also read this book, and trying to, what very little time I have, I'm kind of splitting between those two things, which means it's taking me a long time to do both of them. So going forward, I'm not sure. I may switch it up. I may choose to focus on one source of media at a time. Whether if I'm working through a game, maybe I just all the free time I have for a hobby, I'll just devote to that. And then after that, if I want to read a book, maybe that'll be the only thing I'm doing. I'm not going to play a game at the same time. Kind of want to see if that works better, if I'm able to just enjoy both a little more doing it that way. So we'll see. But right now I've already started both of them. I'm doing both of them at the same time. I'm just going to keep doing that until I'm through them. And then we'll kind of change it up and see how that goes. So it can be difficult when you have lots of interest to do all of them. I kind of wish that I didn't have so many interests, but at the same time, I like all the things I like. So I don't know. It's busy. So that's how I fit stuff in. For whatever that's worth, you do it however it works for you, as long as we're just making sure we're getting other stuff done. So for other topics, this is just random little stuff that I've been thinking about. First off, I had a video posted before. I was talking about playing Tears of the Kingdom and how I wasn't enjoying it as much as Breath of the Wild. And honestly, I've gotten more excited about Tears of the Kingdom since then. I still don't think that it's going to be like, I'm going to love Breath of the Wild more. It's going to hold a special place in my heart. However, I have gotten more into and learned more about Tears of the Kingdom and how some of the mechanics work and how to use some of the resources that game gives me in a way that I am pretty stoked about. I'm going to talk about it a little bit here. So this isn't really a spoiler, but stuff I'm about to say may give something away if you've never touched the game or if you haven't finished the game. I'm not going to spoil any actual plot points or any big, like characters or anything. And one thing I'm going to talk about is just a mechanic you learn very early on. So, but that being said, I'm just going to let you know, I'm going to talk some minor, not even really specifics in the game that may give something away that you don't want, that you may want to be surprised by. So if that's the case, go ahead and jump forward a little bit in this video. So one thing that I'm really excited about is I hadn't learned how to take advantage of fusing your weapons to other materials because I hadn't really tried much. And once I learned to do that and actually tried it a few times with different things, man, it is awesome. Now I had fused a bunch of stuff to my arrows to, make fire arrows or electric arrows or whatever. I've done that a ton. I do rely on bow and arrow a lot. I'm a bit of a distance fighter. No shame. It's just how I like to do it. However, now that I have learned to take advantage of the mechanic where I fuse stuff to my like swords and can greatly increase their attack power, my goodness, I have been enjoying that. In Breath of the Wild, if you wanted a stronger weapon, you just had to find a stronger weapon. In this one, I can make them. I can take something that's not super strong, and if I've got the material, usually like a monster part, I can fuse it to my weapon, and all of a sudden I've got a pretty strong weapon, and that is awesome. I am loving that mechanic. Fantastic. I love it. I also thought I was actually closer to the end than I was. This may imply, I'm not going to give anything away, like actually, but this may imply something or give away some, just more than you want to know. So again, if you listen to the weapons thing and you're like, ooh, I really don't want to know anything about, or even be able to possibly guess at this clue, then yeah, jump forward. So I thought I was almost done with the game. I was coming up to a part, I won't be specific, but where it really felt like this was about to be the end of the game. I was pretty sure that this was the last boss. I was actually talking to my brother about it because he has also played Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and I assumed he had finished it a long time ago. I asked him about it and he said, no, actually I haven't. I got to the part where it seemed like it was the end and I thought it was, and then when it wasn't, I got a little, just a little burnt out and was just wanting to play something else. He just was ready to move on, which is kind of how I was feeling actually about Tears of the Kingdom. I was like, I'd spent a ton of time in the game. I was ready to just kind of get to something else. So when he said that, I was pretty sure that he must be talking about where, like exactly where I am in the game. And I asked for clarity. I was like, so I've done this, and I'm about to go here. And he was like, yep, that's where I was. I'm like, okay, well, weirdly, that actually got me more excited about the game because I don't know, for some reason, the fact that, I guess maybe because it was less predictable than I thought. You know, I thought this was, well, this is obviously the end, and turns out it's not. Well, that actually got me excited about it again. So I've kind of been reinvigorated with Tears of the Kingdom. I'm still on it. And I'm enjoying it. I'm having a great time, and I'm actually enjoying it more than I was the last time I talked about it. So, and that's just something I love about gaming, man. You can play something at one point and you may not love it, and then you can play it again later and it's totally different for you. So it's pretty awesome that way. Some other things I was going to talk about. One, let's talk a little bit of the Star Fox deal. Again, this is old news. I am not trying to stay relevant on this channel, so it is very evident from the stuff I talk about. No one's going to be coming to my channel for the latest updates. All right, I know that. You know that. We're not even pretending that that's the case. So anyway, ancient news, but Star Fox. They're coming up with this new Star Fox game, and what I actually want to talk about with this is what I think is just so cool is I remember hearing all the news and the leaks. You know, Nintendo has had a leak problem where their big reveals are getting leaked before they get to reveal them. And Star Fox was one of those. Nate the Hate revealed a bunch of stuff upcoming. He included this thing about Star Fox, a Star Fox game. And man, I saw a lot of people talking about all of these leaks and talking about how they hate them, which is true. Like, the leaks should stop. I mean, honestly, if you're leaking information, just stop.
Stop it. Get some help.
Just stop. I mean, okay, I guess it gets clicks, it gets views, but come on, man, just quit. But anyway, at the same time, I saw a lot of videos of people talking about how they hate them because it's like, you've leaked this information, now everybody already knows, so then there's no excitement when the announcement actually comes. It's like, okay, yeah, big deal, we already knew. And yet, with Star Fox, what I saw was, again, people, hey, we already know this is coming, and people weren't super excited. But then, when Nintendo did their Star Fox Direct and they showed the game, people were pretty excited about it still. And you know what? I just think that's awesome. That's another thing that's awesome about games and gaming is when a developer does something well, like, it doesn't matter if you're taken off guard or surprised by it, or at least that it exists or whatever. Like, when it's done well, it doesn't matter. We're still going to be excited about it because it's still just awesome. Now, full disclosure, I've never played Star Fox on anything. I may jump on the bandwagon and do that before this new Star Fox game comes out because I'm excited about it. It looks awesome. I really want to play it, and it makes me excited for the originals, the older ones. It makes me want to explore those, which is the case for me with a lot of games. Like, for instance, Super Mario Brothers 3. I have this little plaque. I've got to find where my finger goes. Yeah, this thing that I got from with my Nintendo points. And this may seem crazy, may even upset some people that I've got this in my camera right now. I've actually never played that game. Never played it. Really have not played many of the original Mario games. Okay, I've played a lot of Mario Kart. We had a GameCube. That was probably the first. That was probably the first TV console that my siblings and I had, and we got Mario Kart Double Dash, and I spent a ton of time in that game, and loved every second of it. So I played a lot of Mario Kart. I played some Super Mario Sunshine on GameCube, and I liked it. Some people hate on that game a ton. I liked it. I thought it was fun. I don't think I ever beat it, but I did enjoy playing it. I have played Super Mario Odyssey. Again, haven't finished that one either, but I really enjoyed it. But outside of that, I've not really played it. Well, I mentioned before playing Super Mario 3D World with my wife, and we've enjoyed that. But outside of that, that's pretty much my Mario experience. But I'm such a sucker for when I learn about the history of something, I really want to play it. So no, I have not played that game, but yes, I very much intend to play that game. I really want to. So same with Star Fox. I've never played any, but this new one coming out has made me excited for the old ones as much as it's made me excited for the new one. So I may jump on the bandwagon and, do a playthrough or do a playthrough video of one of them. Who knows if I can iron out how to do that and get the picture and audio balanced out. Oh, another thing that I've seen in the news is possibly a Middle-earth RPG coming out. Warhorse, I think, is the name of the studio. They did Kingdom Come Deliverance and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I really hope it's awesome. Man, I'm reading Lord of the Rings. I love Lord of the Rings. I'm really hoping it's awesome. I know with Kingdom Come Deliverance, that's another one that I personally just can't play. There's too much in it. As far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, and maybe it's something that you can avoid altogether, but as far as I know, there's a lot of heavy language and some sexual stuff in there that I'm just not interested in. So I have not touched those games. But outside of that stuff, they look like incredibly well done. They were very well received. The reviews are great. And that whole medieval world that they've built looks incredible. So imagine taking something like that, the resources they used to do that, and dedicating it to a Middle Earth. That would be amazing. I'm just hoping that they keep it true. I'm not saying they have to do the same story as Lord of the Rings, but I hope they keep it true to Tolkien's work and his style, and they, for lack of a better term, keep it classy, right? I'm not saying, it's war. It's going to be about war, I'm sure. So yeah, it's probably going to be bloody. It's going to be, it might be a little brutal. I'm not saying it's going to be something that everyone's going to want to play and that it's safe for everyone or good for anybody and everybody. It's not going to be kid friendly, I'm sure. But I hope that they just keep it true to Tolkien in that, especially just keeping out the heavy language and any sexual stuff. I know that just is something that a lot of developers and really any media, TV, movies, books, the people making these things, they just throw them in there now just because it sells, man. But the reality is, if you make something really good and you leave that stuff out, you're actually going to sell more, because then you are also going to get the audience that doesn't want that stuff. And the thing is, if you're doing it well, people are going to buy it anyway, right? Look at all the Nintendo games that fly off the shelves that are 100% clean and family friendly, because it's just a good game, man. You don't have to include all that stuff. If it's a good game, it's a good game. People are going to want to play it. And frankly, that's why I kind of feel like a lot of times I get sometimes, with language especially, they've got it in a certain setting in a certain world and they're going for, this is realistically how people talk. And frankly, yes, that's probably true. However, I'm not exactly going for complete realism, right? I'm not in most games. I'm not looking, especially when it's that. Like, that's not really going to detract from the game to leave that out. But especially, you know, when I'm running around wielding a sword and casting spells, I promise you, I'm not going for realism. Not going for realism. So I don't care if people realistically use that kind of language. I'm not going for realism. If I was, I wouldn't be playing this. So anyway, yeah, I'm excited for that game. I just hope they keep it clean as you can keep a war game. Yeah, so those are kind of my thoughts on that. Anyway, hopefully there's something enjoyable in all of that absolute chaotic mess. I will definitely be editing so much. It's going to take me forever. It may be a month before I get this video out because this was a mess. But hopefully you found something to enjoy. Let me know in the comments how you fit gaming into your life or any of your hobbies. If you have multiple hobbies, how you fit them together, what works for you. And yeah, what you're feeling about any of the gaming news going on, these games coming out and things like that. So let me know your thoughts. God bless, and I'll see you in the next video.